Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a special video I'm doing as part of a collab for fibromyalgia awareness. I was asked to take part in this collab by a lovely YouTuber here. I will pop her channel up on the screen. I will also try to link everybody and list everybody that took part in this collab with us. But I'm going to be doing a set of nails for that awareness. And I'm also going to be telling you guys a little bit about what fibromyalgia is. And yeah, so you might know somebody who suffers from this, or you might be someone yourself who suffers from fibromyalgia. And this is just a good little way to bring some awareness to people who might be fighting this invisible battle, because a lot of times people go through they go through a lot of stuff, and they still continue to do their day to day without complaining, and it gets tough sometimes when you're fighting a invisible disease. People don't know that you have it unless you tell them. So I'm not going to go through everything that I'm doing step by step in this video, so you guys can just kind of like watch as I go. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. um, but yeah, so what is fibromyalgia? Okay, what is fibromyalgia? It is a long-term condition that involves widespread body pain and tiredness. So it's kind of like just, being super duper tired and you don't really know why. So fibromyalgia is more common in women than it is in men, and family history is also a risk factor. So you may be more likely to have it or suffer from it if a parent or sibling has it. Some other medical conditions raise the risk of fibromyalgia too. These include osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and lupus. Fibromyalgia symptoms include pain throughout the body that has lasted for 3 months, for at least 3 months. Often the pain is described as a constant dull ache. Tiredness, also called fatigue, is another key symptom. A person may have trouble paying attention and focusing on mental tasks too. So kind of like a brain fog kind of situation where you're just kind of out of it. With fibromyalgia, a mix of treatments often work best. Medicine may be prescribed to ease pain and improve sleep. Physical therapy and counseling also can reduce pain and boost quality of life. Lifestyle changes are important too. It's key to eat healthy, get regular exercise, and get quality sleep. So, yeah, that's just kind of an overview of what fibromyalgia is. It can present itself differently in different people, and some people may suffer more severe symptoms, and some people may just have kind of just a general tiredness. So it's really, I mean, it affects people a lot differently. But in the US, fibromyalgia affects an estimated 2% of the adult population. And that may sound small, like 2%, that's a pretty small amount. But that is about 4 million people. 4 million people in the US are currently affected. Those are people that have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia. So there's probably a ton more out there that are suffering and they just don't know why. They just haven't gotten that diagnosis yet. But women are more commonly diagnosed than men. I think that's because women go to the doctor for other things more often, maybe. And the disorder typically appears in middle age. So, as we start to age, I'm getting up there. I'm in my 40s. It's kind of middle age. That's kind of what happens. It's kind of what happens. But yeah, so that's just kind of an overview of what fibromyalgia is and how it affects people worldwide. I'm sure there's, tons more people out there affected by it. But we've got some of the kind of telltale signs, I guess, of what fibromyalgia is. We have a chronic pain and fatigue that is basically widespread pain and fatigue and morning stiffness. So, when you get out of bed and you're feeling like super duper stiff, and you're just tired all the time. You just have no energy, and even after you've had a good night's sleep, you're still feeling very fatigued. And the widespread pain is just basically multiple areas of the body. So you just kind of hurt all over for like no explicit reason. Like I didn't pull a muscle, I didn't, you know, run my leg into the coffee table or whatever. So then we have sleep disturbances. So trouble falling asleep and non-restorative sleep. So that just means that like you slept all night, but you feel tired. You wake up and you feel tired. You just can't get going. You just can't get motivated, and things are just like you feel like you could just sleep all day. So the next thing I'm going to talk about here is the fibro fog, that is cognitive difficulties. So this is memory problems, concentration problems, and slowed thinking. So this is basically you have problems remembering things. You can't really focus and pay attention. You're just kind of like a little like, oh, squirrel, you're just kind of like not quite as focused. And then you feel like your thinking is slower, like you can't quite express what you're trying to say, and like your brain just isn't quite connecting quite right. So the next little bullet point here is mental health challenges. So we have depression and anxiety listed under that, and it makes perfect sense because if you are feeling off in any way, it kind of comes back to, you're going to start to feel anxious. You're going to be like, what's wrong with me? You just kind of start to feel stressed about everything. And then that can kind of, work on your psyche, and you start to feel a little depressed, so you just kind of start experiencing those, depressive symptoms. You just start to get down on yourself. And the other common symptoms here are headaches. We have the irritable bowel syndrome. We know, ladies, if you're suffering from IBS, I hear you. I hear you. Numbness or tingling, and that's in your hands and feet. So you could be getting like weird, like the pins and needles, like your hands and feet are falling asleep for just no reason. And then sensitivity to light, noise, and temperature. So this is just kind of like, going along with that widespread pain. Like if you get cold or if you get too hot, you feel very uncomfortable, and you can be, kind of in pain because of that. And headaches, usually, I mean, people just, you just wish away a headache. You're just like, oh, I have a headache. It's a headache. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But sometimes that is another, like, catalyst to another, bigger problem. So you really want to take care of yourself. You want to ask your doctor if you're having any of these problems, or if you feel that maybe they're not quite listening. Go get a second opinion. You got to take care of yourself. We only get one chance at this go round. So you want to take care of your body, and you want to make sure that you make informed decisions on treatments and other things for that. Um, but yeah, I was happy to take part in this collab to help bring awareness. I do have a handful of people in my life who suffer from fibromyalgia, and probably a few more in my life that suffer from it that I don't know, because it's not something that they just, talk about continually, But but yeah, so I was happy to take part in this collab. I hope you enjoy the rest of this video. I'm just gonna put on some music. I might pop back in here after a bit to to say my goodbyes and all of that. But I'm just going to finish up the rest of this design with some stamping and a little bit of hand painted, I think. And I used some flakies. And now I'm just going to start rambling on because I only talked for like 10 minutes, and there's still another like 10 minutes left to go in this video. But any of the products that I used, I will try to list in the description below. If you don't see something, timestamp me in a comment, and I will definitely find out for you the products that I have used. And yeah, let me know in the comments also if you yourself or if somebody you know suffers from fibromyalgia, and what steps do they take to try to lessen their symptoms, and what kind of regimen do they follow to try to make the healthiest decisions and keep active and keep mobile. So yeah, let me know all the things down below. And don't forget, if you're new here, hello, hi, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you want to know the next time I post. I do try to do nail art videos, usually as a tutorial, and I talk through how I'm doing things, but this video was just a little bit different, so I decided to do a voiceover so that I could do, put in all the things to touch on all the bullet points for the fibromyalgia awareness. And yeah, so enjoy the rest of this video. Like I said, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe and do all of the things. And I appreciate you all taking the time out to watch this video. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Go check out some more of my videos, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.